The floor
Yes.
is yours.
Good day, I'm John Mark Dugan, former Marine and former police officer from the United States. Before I begin on my presentation, I'm going to go into a part about Russophobia. I experienced my first bout of Russophobia the other day. I was on a live stream and a British guy came up to me. I was in the heart of Moscow. A British man walked up to me, asked me where I was from. He heard me talking about how the sanctions have backfired against the West. And I told him I was from the United States, and he spit on me and walked away. I was shocked. So, the media campaign, the PR campaign, disinformation campaign in America is very powerful. So, but now we're going to go into Victoria Nuland's State Department role. Video regarding Ukrainian biolabs long before Russia made publicly made this claim. And the article made a lot of twisted distortions to try to prove the claims of the West. I had actually written to the reporter, and I got into a little Twitter battle with him about it. And the article, they just didn't care. They kept it like it was. And you can see the headline here: American ex-cop goes to Ukraine on twisted mission to vindicate Putin. It's crazy. But so Victoria Nuland, very interesting lady in American politics. From 1993 to 96, she worked in the office under the U.S. Secretary of State, Talbot. And she was also under the chairmanship of Richard Lugar, and she dealt with issues of NATO expansion and countering Russia. She was directly responsible for the nuclear disarmament program of Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and Belarus. And because of weak leadership in these former Soviet republics, this particular employee of the U.S., Nuland, was able to destroy the defense potential of the former Soviet republics. Now, in 2011, Nuland became the press secretary for the U.S. State Department under Obama. And in 2013, she was nominated for the position of the Assistant Secretary of State for the European and Eurasian Affairs under John Kerry. This is important, John Kerry, where she closely dealt with Ukraine. She got the United States to invest $5 billion to help ensure the future Ukraine deserves. Basically, this was a payoff to Ukrainian politicians. This amount also included the financing of Pentagon biolabs, just the initial, which have been operating in Ukraine since 2005. Now, the distribution of these channels, oh yeah, please. One more.
Yeah, go.
The distribution of these finances went through several channels. In addition to the military department, the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, the George Soros Foundation, which we know he's an enemy to anybody that's not a liberal, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and these individuals directly were involved in implementation of these military bio programs. And since April 2014, the Rosemont Seneca Investment Fund, founded in 2009 by Hunter Biden, the son of current President President Biden, and Christopher Hines. Christopher Hines happens to be the stepson of John Kerry. Now, one reason was the desire of the Ukrainian authorities. Oh, I'm sorry. These U.S. biolabs were a partial reason for the Maidan of 2013 and 14. And one of the reasons for this was for the Ukrainian authorities to close these laboratories. And Nuland knew that she had to act. So she regularly visited Ukraine every 3 to 4 weeks. She treated protesters with food, bread, cookies, And in 2014, she found herself in the center of a scandal where she was recorded speaking with an ambassador about who to overthrow in the Ukrainian government and who to keep. So it's clear by this conversation that the U.S. is absolutely the puppet master of the Ukrainian politicians. Now, since 2005, the United States has allocated more than $200 million for its military and biological experiments in Ukraine. They created 46 biological laboratories, and they've experimented with 1,500 different viral strains, isolates of microorganisms, and standards of mycotoxins, and as well as 1,400 different pathogens. Now, Nuland was quickly able to get the right people of the government under Petro Poroshenko. For instance, Natalie Ann Jaresko is a former employee of the State Department and a United States citizen. She became Ukraine's finance minister. Alexander Kvetshaly, am I saying that right? A Georgian citizen, became the Minister of Health, who was replaced by Uliana Saprun, also a United States citizen. She took over in 2016. And through Saprun, Victoria Nuland began openly lobbying the interests of American pharmaceutical corporations interested in conducting research on experimental vaccines and medicines on the Ukrainian population. Now, with no regard to health, the United States programs resulted in sickness and death. The biological and pharmaceutical programs in Ukraine have killed many people and made many more sick. Now, in a single day, the pharmaceutical company Gilead Sciences, they killed more than 30 citizens on which was given experimental drugs. And there have been many outbreaks of rare diseases in the immediate proximity of these U.S.-funded biological laboratories where these pathogens are being researched in Ukraine. Now, with the influence of Victoria Nuland, the Ukrainian government has sold its people to the American military. Next.
That's it?
Oh, that's it. Okay. Well, usually I go on longer, but I'm glad I didn't have to this time. So, it's very clear that the United States is playing a very dangerous game on the Russian border in Ukraine. And it's also very clear that the propaganda machine is trying to hide this fact. And they're doing a very effective job, but it's starting to leak out. There are a lot of people in America talking about this now. And I think it's very important that we need to start educating more people and getting them to see what is right. So, thank you. That's all I have to say.